Joe, Pat Narduzzi is the modern-day Nostradamus, as he predicted that he was going to get beat down by Notre Dame. But all we got to do is win the next 2 ACC games. As Georgia Tech gets upset by Pitt, what is your thoughts?
Dude, it really actually kind of makes me wonder, and this is total conspiracy theory.
If you think he lost on purpose?
No, I don't think he lost on purpose. I think he mailed in prep for Notre Dame. I legitimately think that they mailed in the prep. They spent with the way that they came out, they were up 28-0. We're not talking about they won the game, Blake. They were up by, it looked like they were so prepared that they had been preparing for 2 weeks. I legitimately think the way that they played against Notre Dame that they just decided, hey, I thought he was being sarcastic. Narduzzi was being freaking serious.
He was.
I don't know. I'm being kind of facetious when I say that. They did really look like they were prepared, and they were prepared for the moment. I really wonder how they're going to play against Miami this upcoming weekend. That is going to be a far bigger challenge for them with the way that Miami has responded in recent weeks. But Blake, Heinschel looked pretty solid. I think that the biggest part with all this is that they took full advantage of Georgia Tech's defense just being complete and utter ass at the current moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Haynes King did not play well. I think that Haynes King, not to bring him down and to be super negative on him, he had a lot of rough plays, a lot of plays that
he can't have an off day for them to win. He can't have an off day for them to win.
That's what my whole point is. I think that Haynes King is so good and so important for Georgia Tech's success. And this applied last year when he got hurt. And it was something that we talked about in the preseason and when he got hurt at the beginning of the year. If he's available and he can play, they're a tremendous team. But when he's playing at his worst or he's banged up, in this situation he was playing at his worst, they don't have, it feels like, another playmaker that they can turn to. So I'm understanding why Georgia Tech's now out of the mix, man. And it's probably better for the playoff because who knows what would have happened if they showed up for their first game.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. One kid had 200 rushing yards on you. You let a guy go for 9.6 yards per carry. Turner went off. I don't want to say that Pitt put all of their stock into this game. I just think Notre Dame's that good. I'm actually going to be the one to defend Notre Dame here.
Look at you.
But you gave up runs to Turner of 56, 27, 23, 24, and 27. Joe, what the hell? And by the way, Haynes King, this is my biggest problem with Brent Key at the moment when you talk about this coaching search, by the way. Haynes King had 41 passing attempts and 20 rushes. He is their team. So I look at this entire situation and say anytime that Haynes King has a quote-unquote off day, they lose. He's been their team. Maybe Brent Key, I don't think he's looking forward to something else, but they're just not a great, solid overall team. Joe, the way that they leaned, the way that Pitt just absolutely leaned all over Georgia Tech, and it's how Georgia Tech got beat a couple of weeks ago when teams are running all over them. They just got leaned on. Joe, another thing, too, they had absolutely – this is your conspiracy theory that I kind of think that you're right. I looked at all of the guys that had receptions, right? Joe, you had more than 8 players get a reception against Georgia Tech. They had no idea how to counter this. They gave up big play after big play after big play over and over again. Joe, they gave up 10 plays over 20 yards. That's how bad you've been. And they can't push the ball down the field. Good on Pitt for rallying after getting kind of dog walked last week versus Notre Dame. But Jeremiah Love must have kind of rubbed off on Paul's Turner because he had 200 yards this week, and they just busted him right up, and there was nothing that they could do about it. 28-0. And I got to be real with you. I thought they sailed it in. The 14 points in the fourth quarter, Georgia Tech should have never had. They're rotating guys in and out. It was a complete bloodbath in Atlanta.
Here's the one thing that comes with this, though. I have no freaking idea who's going to play in the ACC Championship, man. So I want to – here's the standings. Virginia 6-1, SMU 6-1, Pitt 6-1 in the conference, and Georgia Tech 6-2.
They don't Miami team to get in. I'm sorry.
Well, so this is what I'm kind of playing. Georgia Tech is 6-2, Duke is 5-2, and then Miami is behind Duke at 5-2. Miami, I don't think can get into the ACC championship game based on the fact that SMU won. I'm sure that there's some sort of qualifier that somebody could bring up and point out. But at the current moment, I don't think Pitt is going to beat Miami. It looks like it's SMU, Virginia. And we're about to send
SMU, Virginia again, back into the playoff again.
An 8-3 SMU team. I think an 8-3 SMU team is probably going to end up going.
I mean,
that's going to be
well, they'd be 10-3 because if they won it all, they'd have to win next week, and they have to win the ACC title. So you're right. The best team in the most athletic team in the ACC is not going. I mean, Joe, I'm sorry, dude. Like, bless.
Here's one thing. Wait. Here's one thing that I might piss you off with this.
Oh, you're probably going
not new. I think that this plays into my argument of why Miami doesn't deserve to get into the playoff. And this kind of plays into why there can be some value in having the conference champion going to the college football playoff. Is that if you can't win your conference championship and you claim to be so good and you claim to have beaten a team head to head and all that, if you can't win your conference and then you're that low down in the standings, why should you be valued as a team to get into the playoffs?
Then Notre Dame shouldn't be in because they don't have a conference. You can't go play Stanford and pick somebody random like Navy when you got 9 conference games. Sorry to tell you this, but when you go and play Stanford, I get it's kind of a rival, and when you get to play one of the
ACC team,
sounds good. Sounds good. We're yelling at the ACC, but you know what? I mean, look, man. This is why you got to do the at-large. It's why you got to do
I don't disagree with you. I have been on your side recently, and I have fully bought in on your side.
Because here's the thing: whether
we're keeping out Vanderbilt, seriously, like we're keeping out of Vanderbilt. That's who we're keeping out.
There you go. That's exactly what I was bringing up. Why is Vanderbilt getting punished because the ACC is ass? Like ass. Because they are.
Miami theoretically could, if there was at large, Miami would probably be the team that gets picked to go in. How insane would that be if the ACC champion did not represent they would have to get rid of conference championships.
No, you can't. Hold on. Can't do that. You know why you can't do that? Because unless some craziness breaks off, it's the highest ranked conferences. So the ACC champion, who might not be ranked over Tulane or JMU, by the way, those two teams would get in before the ACC champion if they're ranked higher. You see what I'm saying? It's about the conferences that have the higher ranked teams. This was the whole scenario of the ACC being left out. So,
by the way, can I want to throw this out there before we move on.
Games don't even matter anymore. Games don't even matter.
They don't.
Why do we even give a shit about week 1 anymore?
I'm not going to go down that fight with you.
The sport. Y'all killing the sport.
I'm not going to go down that fight with you again. Here's one thing I will say to bother you because I love doing this so much.
Here we go.
Miami loses to Pitt and they slide down in the rankings. I don't know how far they slide. Tulane works their way up and they move up. JMU enters the ranking. They enter the ranking. SMU is currently unranked at the current moment. SMU goes on to win the ACC. There is theoretically a world, as you just pointed out there. We could theoretically see unless I'm mismapping this.
Power 4 team not getting
two. We could have JMU and Tulane, I think, theoretically in this, right? No,
you would have the group of 5 that's already in there, and then you would have the ACC out. You know, it's only going to be one power conference that's going to be out, and it's probably going to be the ACC.
Okay, maybe I'm messing that up then.
Yeah, because think about it. You got to have one G5, and then it's the highest 5 ranked conferences. So let's say it's two.
Wait. So that's what I'm saying though. It's
no, it would be the American.
You're not required to only have one G5 team. So if
No,
if this
it's
wait,
not.
wait, if this wait a
Throw out
second.
the
Wait,
G5. You got to throw out the
I know.
G5 scenario.
Say the American Conference winner and the Sun Belt Conference winner are ranked higher than the ACC Conference winner. Does that
Yes.
not mean that those two conferences are technically valued ahead of the ACC for getting into the college football playoff?
You would, at least the way I interpret it, you're saying two Power 5 conferences or Power 4 conferences be out. It's just
No. I was saying the situation I just laid out with that JMU and Tulane would get in before any ACC team got in.
Yes.
That was what I was painting.
That's where we're currently at.
It's possible.
Over Miami, by the way, who beat Notre Dame.
In what I just painted, though, I said that Miami would have to have lost to Pitt this weekend. So not 9-3, Miami team's not getting.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Hey, you know what we need to do? Expand it. Isn't that what Tony Petitti said? He's got to be fired. He needs to be fired by New Year.
Good luck with that.
Actually, a lot of Big Ten fans, I thought were going to yell at me. They actually didn't. I was surprised.
Oh, a lot of them agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's got his.
No one's got his back.